You know that Taylor Swift song, The Anti-Hero? Well, today we're going to talk about anti-culture. I had a conversation recently with a client of mine, and it was fascinating. Just the observations that we made about our current culture, especially the hustle culture and all the other nonsense that we live with every single day that nobody likes, but we still live with. So, we're going to talk about what we can do to change that. So before we get started, if you would do me a favor and please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest content, I would sure appreciate it. Hello, fabulous. I hope today is treating you kindly. So, as the intro suggests, we're going to talk about anti culture today. If the Taylor Swift song happens to play in your head, then that's totally fine. Except instead of anti heroes, we're going to be anti culture today. So, a lot of American culture is a little bit backwards because many people are suffering as a result on the daily, and there's no good reason for that. A lot of our culture is built on like hustle. You've got to constantly be engaged and be doing all the things. And unfortunately, still in a lot of households, there's a lot of imbalance in terms of, who's responsible for what, in terms of maintaining the home and all this kind of thing. It's just a lot for a lot of people. So today I thought we would explore what it might look like if we start changing the cultures in our own home, like start just changing the way that we view things and just doing things differently that can start a little spark, that could start a flame, that could burn off all of the old yicky garbage nonsense in our culture that isn't serving anyone, or at least it's not serving most people. And we can start to introduce new actions, new behaviors, new norms that will be more supportive for everyone overall. So, my thought initially was maybe within our own households, because that's the areas in which we have the most control, right? Maybe we create space and time to do things that are the most important. So, for example, particularly those of us with kiddos, but this applies to adults as well, is do stuff that brings you joy. Dedicate a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes every single day of uninterrupted leisure time. Now, this is not scrolling on your phone, okay? It can be if that's what speaks to you. But I would invite you and maybe even challenge you a little bit to find something, whatever it is, that brings you genuine joy that you would just do for the sheer joy of doing it. Something that just makes your soul happy, and do that for 20 to 30 minutes every day. Carve some time out into your schedule, and it doesn't have to be after the chores are done or the homework's done or the whatever is done. It doesn't have to be your reward. Leisure doesn't have to be your reward for doing a good job. Leisure is necessary and important because what it does is it helps to recharge your batteries. Humans are built for play at all ages, all stages of development. So go play, enjoy, do whatever that is. And so, on that note of play, and this again for the whole family, you just set a timer 20, 30 minutes, everyone go play, whatever that means for them. Obviously, be safe and supervised and all the things, but that's the family culture is we go play. And for those of us who are parents who have like the traditional standard, we have to go here and here and here and here, and this one's got this practice and this one's got this activity and da 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 da. And I just want my kids to discover what it is that they enjoy. So I put them in all the things to make sure that they're busy and engaged. And I never got to. So therefore, I'm going to have I'm going to live vicariously through my kids or whatever. And I'm not throwing rocks at anybody. I totally understand that logic. At the same time, your children will tell you what will bring you joy if you're willing to listen to them. Your children will tell you what makes their souls happy. And it may not be the 8,000 activities that you got them enrolled in. Now, they may not complain. They may actually enjoy whatever it is that they're doing, but they may not just be doing it because they think it's a thing that they're supposed to do. To them, it might just be like an extension of school or something along those lines. So Your kiddos will show you from a very young age what interests them. In the toys that they select when they're really little bitties, they'll show you their preferences, and it's okay to lean into those preferences. So, like, if your little girl thinks that trucks are amazing and she goes out and sits on a bench or something while you're doing an oil change and she just sits there and observes and that's what brings her joy, then do that. Or your little boy loves fashion dolls, right? And dressing them up and creating little outfits and all the things, then just let him do that. Create space for him to do that. Let him pick out your outfit in the morning. Maybe he'll do a great job. Who knows? I'm just saying, lean into what brings joy in those little tiny moments every day. And there may be less of a need to want to go do all of the things, to feel compelled to always needing to be busy or having to experience all of the things so that you can experience that joy. I will feel that joy when blah, blah, blah. Now, if your kid's involved in all the things, you don't have to feel any kind of way about it. Just notice how it serves you and your child. Notice and be willing to be honest about what you see, especially when it comes to kiddos. Just notice how they're doing. Notice, if this is actually something that supports their well-being or if it's just something that they're doing because they feel like it will make you happy or it's what they're supposed to, or you spend a lot of money, so we're going to do it, damn it. Just notice. Just notice how they're doing, how you're doing, because you don't need to be frazzled all the time. You don't absolutely need it. And here's the other thing too about hustle culture. We're busy. We're busy all the time. But the truth is we don't necessarily have to. We can prioritize our activities throughout the day based on what's actually important, like things that actually need to get done. And then we can kind of put things in our schedules in bits and pieces. We can break some things up. Like, for example, if in your household, everyone has to maintain the house, right? That's just required. The house isn't going to clean itself. We don't have house elves, which is unfortunate, but there it is. So everyone needs to participate, right? We need to teach our kiddos, especially, how to adult, and how to adult includes boring stuff like cleaning a toilet. So engaging the whole family, like, hey, everybody, right after dinner or right before dinner, whatever, whenever you want. First, 10 minutes of the morning. Everybody, we're all going to get together and we're going to declutter this house for 10 minutes or whatever it is. Set a timer. You can play music, make it fun, right? Because fun makes it so much better to do. And then it goes by so fast you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even realize that you've spent 10 minutes cleaning up your house because you're dancing around doing whatever you're doing while you're picking up and moving all the things. So it's also very helpful if you basically break it down like a first responder at an accident scene. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but everybody gets an assignment. So like, you're standing there, you call 911, you check for signs of life, you keep everybody back, you flag down the police. Like, it's a thing. Like, everybody gets an assignment. And instead of doing like the standard mom thing, and I'm not throwing rocks at moms, okay? Hear me when I say this. I am not throwing rocks at anybody. And what I've observed is, and what I have found personally, is what'll happen, you'll get the basket of crap, right? And you'll set it, at the bottom of the stairs or whatever, and you hope that someone's going to take their crap up the stairs, but then nobody dies, and then everybody's frustrated. So when you make an assignment, okay, here's your basket of crap. You, child number one, run upstairs and put all this stuff away. I want to see you back here in 5 minutes. Yay, hurry, go. Make it really fast. See how fast you can put this away. And, they go around and they put all the things wherever the things belong, or if everybody gets their own basket and they disperse, and here's your crap, put it away, cool. Once it's where it lives, awesome. 10 minutes, done. And that's nice because everybody learns how to engage in the mutual responsibility of home maintenance. And if that looks like everybody pile into the bathroom, you're going to clean the sink, you're going to clean the mirror, you're going to clean the toilet, and I'm going to clean the shower. We're all going to be in here together cleaning away. Or you're going to do the dishes, you're going to wipe down the counters, you're going to scrub the microwave, you're going to be cleaning out the old stuff in the fridge. Why not? Why not engage the whole family? it's important life skills. Our kids need to learn that stuff. So that creates an inclusive environment in which everybody, the whole collective, all the individuals living in the house, they'll get to participate on some level, whatever way that makes sense for your family. And it helps to decrease the burden of work on one person, right? Kind of the anti-culture piece here, where everybody, it's shared role, shared responsibility. And when you do things together, even little tiny things, it helps to reinforce those social bonds, which is also extremely important. It helps to bring families together as families. And that's important. We need our social ties, our social bonds in order to support us. And the last note I want to make on kind of our anti-culture discussion here is prioritize less screen time. I know it's so mean. And obviously you're watching me on a screen right now, so that seems a little counterintuitive, but here's the deal. We spend a lot of time in front of screens, both professionally as adults and as children. We spend a lot of time in front of screens when we're at school doing school things. And then a lot of our leisure is built around screens, watching, whatever random stuff on social medias and, TV and video games and all the things. And we're kind of rotting our brains. So if we spend less time, especially in the evening, cut your screen time off 2 hours before bed, you sleep better, and you spend a little bit more of that time outside. So let's maybe, as best we can, for every 10 minutes we spend on our screens, maybe we spend 10 minutes outdoors, just walking in the neighborhood, or just sitting under a tree, or, raking leaves, digging around in the dirt, planting seeds, whatever. Do that every 10 minutes of screen time. Now, obviously, that may not be super practical, because if you work 8 hours in front of a computer like I do, spending 8 hours after I've spent 8 hours outside is not always a practical solution for me. So it's something I'm working to integrate too. But again, leisure time, try to spend 10 minutes outside. Barefoot contact with the earth is amazing. Hands in the dirt is amazing. And it doesn't have to be yard work. It can just being outside. I have a front porch where I sit with my husband, and we sit in our rocking chairs and we just sit outside, and it's nice. And sometimes that's all you need to do. It's just be outdoors, because the fresh air is so good, and being in nature is so good, and just appreciating the animal sounds and just existing in this incredible environment that we're a part of is really refreshing. So that's my tips for today on the anti-culture, the anti-hustle culture that we have built in America. So I hope that you have found this helpful. And if so, please give us a like and subscribe and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest content. Also, share this around and leave me a comment below. Let me know which of these tips you might be implementing, or maybe it's all of them. That would be outstanding. That would be amazing. Change our world, one little cultural habit at a time within our own homes. So thank you, with glitter on it, for watching, and I hope you have a sparkly rest of your day.